We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go. Hi everybody, I'm Sophie, he's Mike, and she's Brenda, and welcome to On the Road with Mickey. If you're returning for another adventure with us, welcome back. We are so glad you have returned safely. And if this is your first episode with us and you're new here, welcome. It's so nice to meet you, and I'm going to show you the reins today. First up, we have our Cheddar from the Big Cheese, which is basically our Disney news snippets. And then after that, we have our feature topic, which is what we talk about for most of the episode. And then after that, we have our This Day in Disney History, brought to you by me. And after that is our game of Who's Who, and that is brought to you by Mike, my dad. Oh, fair warning, I'm almost never wrong when it comes to this game. I almost always win it. And then after that, Brenda will be giving us a quote from the big man himself, Walt Disney, and it's just going to be amazing. So buckle up, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the car at all times. Make sure you're safe, fasten your seatbelts, all that good stuff. And we will see you on the road. It's time to get going. Let's go!
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu, and we're on the road with Mickey. This is season 2, episode 27 for July 5th, 2021, and our feature topic this week is Red, White, and Disney. This is Brenda's topic name for a great idea that we actually talked about last year as well, regarding Independence Day and the 4th of July and how patriotic Disney is with regards to how much they really love America. And it stems all the way back to Walt and his brother Roy and the whole family, I think. So get ready for a fun episode, a patriotic episode, and we coined it, or Brenda coined it, Red, White, and Disney. And I think that's a great name, don't you think, Sophie?
I agree. It is a wonderful name. Brenda's in charge of naming
cool
all our
name.
episodes from now
Yeah.
on.
She's in charge of cool name. She's in cool name development.
Oh, no,
Yes.
no pressure. No pressure. Good thing I'm from Galveston, Texas, where all the cool people are.
Exactly.
I'm not
Except
from
for Sophie
Galveston,
and
Texas.
we're like the exception, aren't we, Brenda?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Just
good.
so long as we got
Million.
that clear.
That's right.
All right.
Infinity.
Well, first off, though, we have some cheddar from the Big Cheese. And since Brenda's the cool cat in this room, she's going to start us off. So take it away, Brenda.
Well, since we're talking about cool, we have to go and look at these cool, awesome rooms that were reimagined at Disney's Contemporary Resort. The photos came out and they are so cute. They are themed after The Incredibles, so they're incredibly cool. And I'm hoping Mike is going to share a picture with us.
I thought Sophie was going to share the picture. And
Wait,
Sophie's like, I thought
no.
Brenda was going to share it.
No.
Somebody's got to share a picture of these awesome rooms. They are
Okay,
so
okay.
cute, y'all.
All right. Keep talking about them. Give me a minute.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, they have theming of The Incredibles. They have an Edna Mode pillow. They have what looks like The Incredibles costumes hanging in the closet. They are just so cute. I love these rooms.
And my understanding is that the only rooms that are Incredible themed are in the main tower. Because when the renovation was going on, it was only some of the rooms in the main tower, wasn't any of the garden wing rooms.
Right.
So
Yeah.
keep that in mind when you're wanting to book them.
And this is what they look like.
Oh, thank you, Sophie.
Oh, that is a
Look
cool
at that.
pillow.
Yeah.
And you know what? They made it so it is incredible, of course. but it's also fits in with the contemporary like
For
to a
sure.
T. I mean,
Yes.
it's almost even, dare I say, it's almost with that carpeting, it almost looks a little Star Wars-ish,
Dare you say?
dare I say.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's a cool picture.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
That
Those rooms
is.
are great.
All
Well
right.
done, Disney.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
So all
So,
they need to do is send me
continuing.
my free vouchers to stay there, and I'll write it up for them.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sounds good.
Anyway, continuing on, say hello to the new Maasai giraffe calf born at Animal Kingdom on June 10th. He was a big boy. He was over 6 feet tall
Oh my
and over
goodness.
183 pounds. Congratulations to Mom. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe Daddy said something about wanting to show this picture because apparently I stole
Oh,
his thunder last week.
look at
Yeah,
that
but that's okay.
baby.
It's okay.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh. If you're not following us on YouTube, you need to make a special visit over there today. Look at that baby.
Yeah,
Oh.
so cool. I mean, we love our podcast listeners, our audio listeners, but
Yep.
we also have a lot of fun hamming it up for camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We
So
absolutely love it. So, Daddy, what's this one gonna be named?
I don't remember what it was named. I don't know if they had a name yet.
Oh, I thought you
Since
were in
he,
charge of that.
well, I didn't name him. Well, that's an inside joke, and the whole story comes back to April the giraffe when she had her boy, and they named him Tajiri.
Yes, Tajiri.
But I swore that his name should have been Rafiki. So every giraffe that is born is now named Rafiki, despite the fact that Rafiki is not a giraffe. I know this. I know that from The Lion King. You don't have to tell me. You can write in and tell me, though. But I know this. But Rafiki is such a cool name that every baby boy animal should be named Rafiki.
Pretty cool name.
Don't you
Yep,
all
so
agree?
that's the inside joke. So we'll just
So,
say his name's Rafiki.
so his
Yeah,
name is
It's
Rafiki
we'll
now.
probably
go with
not,
it.
but according to Daddy, who is the namer of all the baby animals in the world, it's Rafiki.
There you go.
Works for me.
You heard it here first.
Yes. All
And
right.
now, last bit of cheddar we have for this week, and it's something that kind of got lost in the shuffle because you remember last week we had so many announcements
Oh my
about what was
goodness.
coming to Walt Disney World that we didn't even mention the fact that on June 17th, all the Disney parks around the world were reopened together for the first time in 17 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
That means we're coming out of pandemic, people. So get your travel planning going. You want to talk to us? Talk to Brenda at pixievacations.com. Talk to Mike at pixievacations.com. Let us know how we can help you plan the post-pandemic trip of your dreams.
Yes.
All
We
right?
all have a bucket list now.
Don't we though? Mine is
Yes.
like 8 buckets long now.
Yeah, exactly. They're
And
running over.
don't forget how you can connect with us. Check the show notes. Check out our Facebook pages and groups and our YouTube channel. Subscribe and turn on the notifications for YouTube so you'll get notified when we post new video. Um, don't forget our Instagram channel, our email address, and our phone voicemail. So that wraps up our cheddar from the big cheese.
Uh-huh.
We're going to move on to red, white, and this
Disney.
is all the ways that Disney goes above and beyond when it comes to showing their patriotic spirit. So we just have kind of like a bucket list of different things that they do. And I thought we would just run down some of them and kind of talk about what we think of them and whether we like them or not and all that. So
Yeah.
Sophie, Brenda, I talked a lot already. Who wants to go?
I'll go. I haven't
Good.
Okay.
really gone a lot today.
Good.
Give
And
us an idea of what Brenda and I should say when it's our turn to go.
All right. Well, we're just I'm just going down the list here. Like that's what I imagined, and I remember a lot of these from our talk about patriotism at Disney last year,
Hmm.
but they are just so memorable that they should be talked about. And the most memorable one, well, the most discreet but memorable one, a lot of people aren't in the parks to see it, but when you are there to see it, it definitely leaves an impact on you. It's the flag raising and lowering ceremonies.
Yeah.
Every morning, Disney will raise the flag. They will have like a military salute when they do it. And every evening, they will lower the flag. And it's just something that a, a lot of institutions in the US should do, but we don't do. So the fact that Disney does it is just really special,
Yeah.
and I applaud them for it. It shows how patriotic they are.
Yeah. And see, like Sophie said, when we talked about this last year, it was the end of June and Disney wasn't open. And the
Yeah.
fact that they were still doing the flag
Yes.
raising and lowering ceremonies, that really spoke volumes to us, you
Yes.
know? So that is something that I will never forget out of pandemic world, you know, is how much they still honored the traditions of what they do. So,
Yes, that
yeah.
is right. That's very good.
All right. Well,
Yes.
the next one we have on our list, do you want me to go, Brenda, or you want to go?
Yeah. No, you go for it.
Okay. So the next one that we have on our list is kind of a twofold thing. And unfortunately, right now, one of the items on it is closed because of the refurbishment, and that's the Hall of Presidents. And, there was a ton of speculation about changing the Hall of Presidents to be like Muppet themed and whatnot, and or Hamilton and all this. And I'm so glad that they're not doing that,
Yeah.
because the Hall of Presidents is the Hall of Presidents for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's president and regardless of your political leanings, that's what the attraction's all about. If you don't like it, don't go ride it. Don't go see the show. Um,
Yeah.
but of course, Hall of Presidents is located in Liberty Square, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that Sophie's favorite land in the Magic Kingdom?
It
Yes, it
is.
is.
And to think, when I was younger, like a lot younger in elementary school, history had to be my worst subject because I found it boring and I absolutely hated it. Or maybe it was social studies then. I didn't start learning history until a little bit later. But social studies, that was my history and I despised it. I loathed social studies. And then we finally got to history. And of course, I was still calling it social studies because they never changed the name of it. And they were talking about the American Revolution. And I was like, wait, whoa, 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 back up, back up. What is this picture of pirates dumping huge boxes into the sea off a boat? What is this doing in a social studies book? And that's what started it. Always the pictures. And then it's like reading a it's like reading an amazing epic and then you realize that it's real and you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like this is what happened before I was born. And it all started with the American Revolution. And then ever since then, I have been a huge history nerd. Just ask my dad what's the weirdest history fact I've ever told him, and I'm sure he'll tell you something I said about ancient Egypt.
Well, probably, but we're not going to go there on this episode.
No.
We'll save that for another podcast, and that feature topic, as titled by Brenda, will be Sophie's brain and why it's scary sometimes.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to connect
We'll
that.
figure it out.
Disney.
We'll
I
figure
think
it
we'll
out.
just call it Walk Like an Egyptian.
There you go. See?
This
Already it's a better title. Now, Brenda, just for the record, and for everyone listening, if you go look at the show notes, you'll see that all our list is right there.
Yep.
For you to peruse as well. Brenda, we're in no order. You can pick whichever one of these you want from the list.
Oh,
Okay, you don't have
well.
to keep going down one after another. It just happened to do that.
I
So.
may just have to pick one of my favorites then, and that is the Carousel of Progress. You can tell in my background today.
Yes.
I never, ever, ever get tired of that. Never, never, never. Every single trip, we always go to the carousel. I mean, how can you get tired of it?
I know, right?
It is just Walt.
When we were there in July, Brenda, I must have live streamed that like half a dozen times.
Yeah. I remember that because you tagged me in a lot of your lives. I felt like right at home. I was missing it so bad. And you tagged me in a lot of your live streams, and I really appreciated it because I took time to watch them. I was like, please get me there.
There you go. So anyway, yeah, how can you not love the Carousel of Progress?
Yeah, for sure.
As incredible as it is, man, some things never change and shouldn't.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, good choice, Brenda.
Thank you.
All right.
You want to pick up the list?
Yep. I'm trying to think. Which one do I like the most?
Do 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 do.
I'll have you know that I did make my decision right when you started singing that, but I was courteous enough to let you finish because I like the Jeopardy theme.
Very good.
I was just
So what did you choose?
giving it back a little bit because you've
Me?
done that to me countless times.
I'm choosing Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Very good.
West Coast. Good choice.
Very good.
You know what I
think? You know what? I'm
What?
almost certain that between the three of us, I'm the one who's been to Disneyland the most.
You
Very
probably
possible.
have. You probably have.
Yeah, Disney World is not quite
close.
that. Yeah, no.
Not
But
close.
Disneyland? Yeah, I've been there the most. So I am the one to talk about Mr. Lincoln. It only fits.
It
There
does.
you go.
And you know what
And-
I like about the attraction? Do you want to talk some more, Sophie?
No, go for it.
I was gonna say, you know, what I like most about Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is it's almost the pre-show, the museum before you get into the theater, and you see don't you have the White House there, and then the park bench from Griffith Park is kind of outside
right
of that.
there. Yeah.
You know, and it's like all of that just kind of builds it up, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can I
Yes.
share a little story about Walt Disney's love for Abraham Lincoln?
Absolutely.
Well, Walt Disney loved Abraham Lincoln, and when he was in the 5th grade, he he made hair and everything, made a beard, and he dressed up just like Abraham Lincoln. He went to school, and he performed the entire Gettysburg Address for his class.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
And the principal of the school was so impressed that he had him do it for all the classes. And in fact, they did it every single year until Walt graduated.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Nice. Way to go, Walt.
He
That
said,
Way
is
to go, Walt.
amazing.
Thank you for that story, Brenda.
"You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what this episode's all about.
You're
America-
welcome."
American
I was going to talk about how Abraham Lincoln was Walt's favorite president of them all, but I think you hit on that point far better than I ever could. But now that I think about it, and this is completely off topic, but didn't Walt also used to do good Charlie Chaplin impressions?
Sure did.
Yep.
I think I know where he got that getup from. Because when you think about it, Abraham Lincoln and Charlie Chaplin, they kind of look similar.
Yep.
I guess so.
In
Yeah,
the
In certain
clothing
ways.
styles. In the clothing
Yeah.
styles.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Now he
think he
just
liked
made
to
a
dress
dress
up as people. He was just
Definitely.
really something.
He really
Yeah.
was.
Yep.
But my favorite part about Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is actually the part out in front of it. And there is a park bench in front of the attraction. And that's the park bench that Walt would sit on when he took his daughters to a special little park with a carousel in it, and he would watch them ride the carousel. And I just think it's such a personal note,
Mhm.
and it belongs outside of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln because that entire attraction is just a personal note from Walt as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Hmm.
All right. I'm going to move us on a little bit, and I am going to talk about my background image,
Well, there you go.
which is the American Adventure Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Look,
see the little funnel cake sign.
I was
Mhm.
wondering if you were going to notice that, Soph.
Yeah. We need
I wanted,
smell-o-vision around here.
we do. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Golly.
Take
There
in
you
a
go.
deep breath, enjoy the funnel cakes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go buy a few and gorge myself on them.
Yum.
Okay. Um, I love the American Adventure Pavilion. You know, it's got so much going on. Great food. Jumbo turkey legs are awesome. Funnel cakes, as Sophia's already mentioned, are really good. And that's, to me, that's an American food right there. Um, Voices of Liberty, listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a picture of Sophie with one of the singers from Voices of Liberty when she's just a wee little lass, you know,
Whoa,
and
Daddy,
it's
you're getting to sound Scottish there.
I know that was intentional. And it's just such a great picture, you know? And of course, even now, when they weren't performing inside the pavilion, they were performing in the amphitheater, in the American Gardens Amphitheater.
Yep.
Mhm.
And you could hear them there, and we heard them there. So that was really cool. And of course, the show. You know, who
Yeah.
is it? It's Mark Twain, and who's the other in the show?
Um,
Is it Thomas Edison?
I don't
No,
think
Frank
so.
Benjamin
Franklin
Franklin.
Delano Roosevelt is in that one, isn't he?
No,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about the two hosts
Oh, I'm sorry.
at the
I don't
show.
remember. I don't remember right now.
Hang on.
Okay, but anyway, it's such a great show because it talks about how America has gone through these cycles and it's just grown from it and learned from it, and regardless of who the hosts are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be Thomas Edison or Alexander Graham Bell, but I don't know why I'm thinking that either. It could have been the power of suggestion
I
from
know
you,
it's Mark
Mike.
Twain.
Benjamin Franklin and Mark
Benjamin
Twain.
Franklin
Benjamin
and Mark.
Franklin. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sophie, for
Yep.
clarifying that my mind
Thank you. Thank
sometimes
you.
still works.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
But of
God it
course,
does.
there are also others like Susan B. Anthony, Frederick
Right.
Mhm.
Douglass, Thomas Jefferson, Chief Joseph, and Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they're part of the movie side of the show. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, it's a great show, and it's all about America and and the experience of being an American. And the American adventure doesn't hold much for you, take a moment, take 20 minutes one day, stop in there, go see the show, listen to Voice of Liberties, watch the show, have the Regal Eagle for lunch
Yep.
or an early afternoon dinner or something,
Yep.
and just really find out how much you've been missing when you're at the American Adventure. So,
Yep. That's a great idea.
Mhm.
okay. Mike has just stepped off his soapbox.
And I suppose we've already talked about the Voices of Liberty some?
Huh?
Yep, he did talk about him some.
The Regal Eagle.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. Hit both of those.
Got 3 in 1. Woo!
Well,
All right.
I'm
Brenda.
gonna skip down to Tom Sawyer Island.
Ooh,
Nice.
good one.
I like Tom Sawyer Island. I think that's just so much fun to head over there and just explore over there and look at all the caves, and it's just cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that nowadays I'm probably going to get reamed for saying this, but I've always traditionally recommended that to my guests with little boys because I'm sorry, there's always been, in my opinion, more for girls, with all the princess stuff and everything.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's sometimes less that seems like, and I'm not saying Tom Sawyer Island is not for girls to explore.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying traditionally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially recommend it to the families with boys. It's just so much fun. I mean, seeing
Yeah.
all, everything spelled backwards and written backwards, and
Yeah.
it's just a place to explore. It's fun.
Exactly.
It
And it is
is.
fun for everyone
Yes.
because Sophie grew up going to Tom Sawyer Island and we loved
Oh,
going to it.
yeah.
And
Yep.
Stephanie would
All
join us
those
and we
caves.
would jump on the barrel bridge and see who would scream the most. And
That's right.
it was
All
usually
those
it was usually
caves.
me and
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And I
but
just
Tom
really
Sawyer
liked.
Island, all you liked all those caves, didn't you, Sophie?
Oh, yeah. I liked exploring the dark places.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the cool thing about Tom Sawyer Island is it's a neat getaway where you can wind down a little bit and relax
Yeah.
and not have to be so fast paced getting from one attraction to the other because you can spend quite a bit of time there exploring everything. So,
Sometimes that's a perfect place to get away. Do you know who
yep.
Bob Goff is?
I know the name, but I couldn't tell
Um,
you more than
mm-mm.
that.
He's an author. He wrote Everybody Always and a lot of other books, and he
Ooh.
that was his place. Like for
Wow.
years and years and years and years, that was his place at Disneyland.
Nice.
He's not a
Mm,
Disney writer.
that's-
He's like a Christian writer, but
Right.
yep. These
That,
places hold such special memories, and it's just these parks have touched everyone.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I am going. Is it my turn? No, it's Sophie's turn.
Sophie's
No,
turn.
it's my turn. And I'm going to go to a bit of Disney history
Ooh.
that I talked about, and it's rather dark, but you can't have the great moments in history without having the dark moments in history. And I'm going to World War II
Mm.
Yeah.
because Walt was heavily involved in the World Wars. He was there during that time, and he even it just shows how dedicated he was to America. When his brother went to go fight in, I'm trying to remember, was it World War?
It was
At
World War
World
One.
War One.
He went in
Yeah,
World
it
War
was.
One, and Walt was only 16.
Yeah, he was only 16. I think he tried to falsify his age, but it didn't work.
His parents
So,
caught him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he got involved instead in the Red Cross with the American Ambulance Corps, which was part of the Red Cross. And that was during World War One. And I remember going to this museum about Disney. It was on a military base in San Fran- San Francisco. It was right across from the Golden Gate Bridge,
At
and
the
there it
Presidio.
showed. Yeah, it showed one of the ambulances that Walt learned to drive during World War One, and then later in World War Two. By that point, he already had his company, WED Productions, and he decided instead of going to fight in the war, well, I mean, he wasn't drafted for the war, I don't think. He ended up he ended up making World War II propaganda cartoons, most of which involved Donald Duck in them, actually. It became sort of this period in Donald Duck's existence where he was an army officer or an army foot soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I just remember all of these cartoons. I used to watch Disney cartoons, old Disney cartoons, like it was nobody's business. I loved them. I loved the 2D animation. I loved how they worked. And that's part of the reason why I love film so much. And the World War II propaganda cartoons, they specifically hit me home just because it was a piece of history, and you know I'm a history buff, and it was Disney as well.
Yeah.
And it kind of secured this bridge between, hey, Disney has history too, and I can learn this, and it existed in the world before I was born. It's
Yep.
not just there for my childhood, it was there for tons of people's childhoods.
Yeah.
Yep. He
And the
also made a lot of training videos. They made a
mm-hmm.
lot
Yeah,
of training films, and in fact, like half of his staff was drafted, and he ended up having officials from the Army come to the studio and see that they were putting in like a tremendous amount of hours doing these training videos, and he ended up
yeah,
getting his guys stationed back there to work on
Right.
that
yeah,
stuff. So
Yeah.
it was a big effort of his. I
And
mean,
that
yeah.
speaks
And
to
he
how
probably
that whole
saved
war
their lives.
maybe.
it's
And
possible.
that speaks to how at that time, with the whole world at war in World War II, it was all hands on deck. Not everyone could go fight. Not
Mhm.
everyone could go serve in the hospitals or whatever. And you had people that were left behind that needed to feel like they were part of
Yeah,
the effort in helping to save their sons and their daughters. And
yeah,
that was one of the ways through the studios and whatnot that they were able to feel needed and feel helpful in a time when it was so chaotic and just so
yeah.
much trauma and stress and uncertainty about what was going to happen. So
Yeah.
so it was definitely all hands on deck, and it was phenomenal when you look back at that time and see how much people really pulled for one another, you know, and helped their neighbor out and did what they could to make sure that everyone um, did what they could so we could win the war, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
so it definitely is a great topic of discussion, Sophie, and so it
it
definitely
is.
needed to be brought up, and I'm glad you did.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, um, I'm going to talk about something that I think is as American as well, it's not American, but it symbolizes America.
Yeah.
Um, it obviously didn't originate in America, but I'm going to talk about the Walt Disney World Railroad and the Disneyland Railroad and
Awesome.
Ooh.
how much a piece of Americana they are for me. You know, having railroads, having just the stations and thinking about the Golden Spike when they joined the East with the West in a long train route. I mean, that's just like so cool to even imagine someone
Yeah.
getting on a train and going all the way across the country on the train, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
I
was
want to do
such
that.
oh, I would too. And it was such a you know, a turning point. The railroad itself, not the Walt Disney World Railroad, but the
Mhm.
or the Disneyland Railroad, but the railroad itself was a turning point in Disney lore, you know,
It was.
because that 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 disappointment with Oswald, then you know what? He might not come up with Mickey Mouse on that train.
That's right.
And and that's just so cool just to think about, you know, how everything has a purpose and works towards it. So
Definitely.
the Walt Disney World Railroad, I miss it. I can't wait for it to reopen one day, and I'm going to probably ride it 3 loops around in a row.
Yeah, for sure.
um,
Yes.
I love the Disneyland Railroad. I love the New Orleans Square station where it plays Morse code of Walt's opening day speech from July 17th, 1955. I
Yeah.
love that. Even though I don't know Morse code, I know that that's Walt's speech. So
Yeah,
there you go. And I just love them. I just think the railroads are so cool.
I
Yeah,
agree with you. They are cool.
definitely.
You know, Brenda, when Sophie was probably 11 or 12, um, we I was very involved in trains. I had N scale
Oh, yeah.
trains, and I loved going to train shows and making layouts and stuff like that.
Oh, neat.
And I tried to get Sophie involved as much as I could. She had a Thomas the Tank Engine train, and I think I think she humored me and played
Oh,
with it
no.
with me as a humor thing.
I definitely enjoyed it, but I had a shorter attention span back
Yeah.
then.
But anyway, one day here in Raleigh, I glanced and saw that there was a train show at the Raleigh Convention Center,
No.
in downtown Raleigh, and I'm like, "Girls, let's go!" And so we went, and you won't believe who we met.
Who did you meet?
We met Michael Broggie, whose dad was Roger Broggie from
Oh,
the Walt Disney World, the Disneyland lore of the railroads. He
Oh,
has a train, the
oh my
Roger Broggie,
gosh. He
and we met.
travels with it to the shows?
No, we met
No.
him, his son, because his son had written a book, and we have the book, and then we bought it, and he autographed it. Sophie's
yeah,
looking for it,
I'm looking for it.
That's great.
and it was so cool. Bye bye, Sophie. And it was so neat to be able to meet him and talk. And he used to go, and he would go with his dad to go look at the trains, and met Walt that way, and all that,
That's
and got
awesome.
enough information that he wrote a book. And I bought the book, and he signed it, and it's actually got an introduction by Lillian Disney.
Wow, that's
It
awesome.
was so cool, but it was really one of those out of time, out of moment,
Yeah,
experiences where this guy who knows Disney, and Sophie's still looking. Don't worry
I
about it,
know.
Sophie.
She's still looking for it.
We'll find it and we'll show it on our next episode.
Yeah, I can't find it.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
Y'all will find it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's somewhere in our house. We'll find it.
it's
Yeah.
But
somewhere.
don't worry about it right now, Soph.
Yep.
But anyway, that was one of
Awesome.
the highlights for me, was meeting Roger Broggie's son Michael.
Too
So
cool.
Definitely.
Too cool.
but anyway, I really like the railroads. Always have.
Oh, yeah.
For
And
sure.
apparently I share a birthday with Michael Broby.
You do. You do. His birthday is also June 19th. So, Mr. Brogy, happy belated birthday.
There
Yes.
you go. Happy birthday.
All right.
Yay.
All right, Brenda, which one do you want to hit on next?
I am going to skip to my favorite topic.
Okay.
Food.
Awesome.
I'm going to skip to my favorite topic of all-American foods at Walt Disney World. And at Disneyland too. I mean, some of them are at Disneyland too. So let's see. What do I have on my list? I made a special list because I'm a Coney Island person. I used to love Coney Islands before I became allergic to
Ooh.
tomatoes. So now I can't have them anymore. But at Rosie's All-American there in Hollywood Studios, they have those chili cheese dogs that I used to love, those foot-long ones. Oh my God, they're so
Oh,
good.
wow.
And Liberty Tree Tavern, of course, has their traditional Thanksgiving fare, which is so good.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Casey's Corner has hot dogs, and they have burgers, and the corn dog nuggets over there. And the Flame Tree Barbecue has great barbecue, which of course is, the July 4th food around here, especially.
Yeah.
Eight Spoons has that great mac and cheese with the pulled pork on top. Eight Spoons wasn't open when I was there. I'm hoping they're going to reopen soon, but it
Where's
wasn't open.
Eight
That's the one where you
Spoons?
can use your snack credit when you have a dining plan. It's in
Mm.
Animal Kingdom over that bridge by Discovery Island. And they have that
Okay.
macaroni and cheese that they put pulled pork on or shrimp, and it's just a snack credit when you have the dining plan. And we've always eaten that so we could save our other credits. 50's
Yeah.
Prime Time has great fried chicken.
Oh,
Sundays are
and
everywhere at the
Dad's
plaza.
meatloaf.
Dad's Meatloaf,
Oh
yep.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the Regal Eagle, of course, that you mentioned has ribs and a lot of other good stuff. So that's a lot of, that's not even to mention the red, white,
Yeah.
and blue cupcakes that come out for the 4th of July. So those are always delicious.
Someone I know likes cupcakes. Some two co-hosts of mine like
Oh,
cupcakes a lot.
love them. Love them.
You
The
know what
perfect
I
food.
miss at
What do you miss?
Casey's? I
Everything.
miss well everything because it's closed right now. Yeah, although I think it's going to be reopening soon.
I hope so.
But what
Ooh.
I really miss is back in the day. It's now like a gift shop or something. But I remember the bleachers and the
Mm,
old baseball footage they would show, and you
yep.
would sit in the bleachers and you'd eat your hot dog,
Yep.
and it was like you were at the ballpark.
That's right.
I miss that.
Ooh.
Yep. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's my take on the food.
nice
All
take.
right.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm now wanting a sundae.
Well, you can get one at the plaza across the street.
Well,
That banana split
if I
is
was right there, I'd be getting one.
that's a really good one, and it's only $10. Golly, that was the best banana split.
Great. Now you got us hungry.
Oh
Sorry
my,
about that. I'm
that's
always
okay.
leaning toward the food.
I mean, Harris Teeter closes at 11. Daddy, we can always go after we're done here.
Yeah, but first we gotta do what we gotta do. But in
Yeah.
the meantime, since there's a lull in the action,
All right. Well, I suppose it's my turn. And you know what?
boom, had that
Thank
on
you,
Easter
Daddy.
Sunday, and it's still good.
If you're not watching us on YouTube, here's another great reason to get over
You
there and
need
see
to
that.
start watching.
That's funny.
Yeah, because you can see all the displeased looks that I give my father whenever he shows me something in a means of a taunt.
Yum.
I wasn't
Yum.
taunting. I was just hoping that would help.
It didn't. It only made the desire stronger, and you know that.
So, Sophie, what's
Right,
on
my
your
turn.
list?
Mission Space.
There she
I
goes.
love Mission Space.
You can have that.
Yes,
Yeah,
give it to me.
Miss
Give it to
Brenda
me.
can't
Turn me
have it,
into an
so it
astronaut
is.
and shoot me off into the void.
There you go. There you go.
Hopefully, I'll hit a planet sometime while I'm up there in the stars.
Do you think in Russia they have a Russian version of Mission Space?
I don't know.
I don't either. Sorry, I derailed the whole topic
I don't
discussion.
know. Makes you wonder, though.
No, in Soviet Russia, you no fly spaceship, spaceship fly you.
Not sure how much fun they have there.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mission Space, the best ride that ever was about space. Space Mountain takes the back seat on this one.
What about Spaceship Earth?
That one's about Earth, though.
Spaceship.
Earth.
You know, you're right, Sophie. Mission Space does take the cake over rides like Spaceship Earth and Space Mountain and even Dinosaur. So
Oh,
you're right.
definitely Dinosaur. For a second, I thought you were going to say Rise of the Resistance and Smuggler's Run. And in that case, I was going to be like, now, wait a minute.
Yeah. Hold
But
on
yes,
there.
Mission Space. And for those of you who are wondering what Mission Space has to do with America, it's NASA. You are a NASA space astronaut, and you are getting ready to go to Mars. Well, at
Yep.
least you were, but sometimes they only do like an orbit around the Earth, and that's just put me on Mars already. I want to see Mars.
So if I remember
Rover and
correctly,
recharge
Sophie,
batteries.
if I remember correctly, the green side is the lighter side, and isn't that the one that just does the lap around the Earth? And doesn't the orange actually be the one that takes you all the way to Mars?
Oh.
Yes, the orange is the one where you sit in the centrifuge and be twisted all until you can't comprehend your name anymore.
Yep. And don't ask Miss Brenda anything about it because she can't handle that. And I'm frankly I'm surprised she even wears orange.
I like orange.
Okay, so I know what I'm doing the next time Mission Space is on my bucket list. I want to go to Mars.
Okay. So
All
you got to
right.
ride the orange one, honey. Have fun with that.
Yeah,
What you
okay.
think? Better
Enjoy
take
your
Yeah.
broke.
spinning, honey. Enjoy that spinning.
Oh, I will. I'm not that queasy. Just gotta make sure that I don't eat any big meals beforehand.
Exactly.
That's probably a good idea.
So for me, I'm going to take the reins and I'm going to jump on in here, and we're going to go back to the Magic Kingdom and we're going to
Nice.
stroll down Main Street, USA.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, in my perfect Disney day, which I have every now and again, my stroll down Main Street is near twilight.
Ooh.
It's a perfect temperature. The sunset is approaching. It is perfect temperatures, perfect weather. Everything is perfect. I see the mayor and the citizens of Main Street, and we all say hi and we high five, and we're not
Nice.
afraid. There's no masks, so we aren't afraid to shake hands and whatnot and get pictures. That's
That
my
sounds
perfect
good.
day for Main Street. And then we probably, Sophie, stop at the confectionery.
Yeah.
You gotta walk in there and at
Yeah.
least smell it, but we're probably buying some stuff too.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely.
So give me a food item from the confectionery that we should buy for.
Those, those Rice Krispie snacks. You know, the ones that are shaped like Mickey Mouse and they have the sprinkles on them.
Okay, that's what Sophie wanted. Brenda, what did you want from the confectionery?
Cotton candy.
Oh, there you go.
I like cotton
Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite
candy.
flavor of cotton candy?
Yes, all of them.
Kind of like Stephanie. Yep, my niece Stephanie loves all kinds of cotton candy.
Yum.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yum.
Good stuff.
What are you getting there, Mike?
Um, it always varies, but I'm thinking right now, if they have it, and I don't remember if they carry it or not, but if they have, it's a perfect Disney day, so they got to have it. They have. I'm gonna get candy corn, not candy corn.
I know what you mean.
Popcorn,
Caramel corn.
caramel popcorn. Yeah,
Yes, they do have it.
and I'm gonna get that with a Diet Coke, because
There you
then the
go.
calories set.
That's right. That's right. And if nobody sees you eat it, you didn't eat it anyway.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what I'm getting, and that's my stroll down Main Street.
That was a great
That,
stroll.
yes.
I
That
like
was an
that.
amazing stroll. And then
All right.
on our way nearby, we get some pictures with the flag and the castle and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Train
that
station.
sounds great too. Yep,
Yes.
the train station too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. You want to go to Liberty Square Riverboat with me and go for a ride?
I would love to.
Absolutely, yes. And what about the Columbia?
The sailing ship Columbia is
Yeah.
my jam over at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Mm.
That I love the sailing ship Columbia.
We'll talk about that.
I love how it looks like, and it feels like if you were coming over on the Mayflower, that you would have been on that kind of boat, that kind of
Yeah.
ship. And it's
Yeah.
just really cool. I've only ridden it once, but I really liked it. And what I really liked, I got some really cool pictures somewhere in my computer of the breeze had kicked up and the flag is the American flag is on the end of the back end of the ship, and you can see it waving and furling and all sorts of stuff like that, and it's just so cool. And it was just a neat ride. I love Disneyland
Yeah.
for the nostalgia type rides. You
Yes.
know, the things
Yeah.
that so many times are just taken for granted, but are
Yeah.
really they really strike home to me. And maybe that's where Sophie gets her Disney history thing is from me, but or maybe I get it from her. But they strike home about how this kind of experience, if you were seeing it back in the 50s and 60s, how it would be like top dog, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I just love those kinds of things.
At that
Yeah.
point in the 50s and 60s, well, really even now, you know what I want to see at like Disneyland or Disney World?
What's
What's
that?
that?
I want to see something in Liberty Square or New Orleans Square or the historical parts of the Magic Kingdom and Disneyland. I want to see an area where you can actually get dressed up in the historical attire. I think that would be really cool. Or maybe that's just me wanting to do that anyway.
They have
Well,
places like that around, not there, but other
Yeah, not
places.
there, but
Could be cool.
but the other thing that they have, and this might speak more to you than actually going to a place to dress up and do it, is the Dapper Dan days.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
You
right.
know, going there on Dapper Dan Day when you see all the guests, nearly all of them are dressed up in their
Yeah.
flowery dresses and their
Yeah,
sharp looking suits and
That's on
so
my
forth.
bucket list. I want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I
that's a
want to
definitely.
good
go there
bucket
one
list
time
item.
for that for sure.
Yeah. So maybe that's what you do. Or you rent that period of a costume and you wear it during Dapper Dan Day and you kill the
Or
two
You're
at once.
right.
or during the Halloween celebration.
That too.
Kill three birds with one stone.
Yeah.
At one point, I'm gonna wear my actual Dapper Dan dress that I bought for an episode, and I'm gonna show it to you guys.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Look
and
at
Maybe we'll
it's
that.
do an episode on Dapper Dan Days.
Oh, that'll
ooh,
be
that
nice.
would be cool, and we can get
Or how about this? We do an episode as we get closer to Halloween on the Halloween activities and we each wear a Halloween costume.
ooh,
Clever.
I think
yes,
I think we got potential here.
I think
we
we have
definitely
potential.
do.
All we need
Yeah.
is one of Brenda's show titles. We'll come to that later. Let's move
Yep.
on.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'll be here till
That's
midnight.
right. That's right.
yeah. All
All right,
right. Anyway,
Brenda. You talked about Liberty Square and
I
I talked
did.
about sailing ship Columbia. So I'm going to give it over to Sophie to talk.
All right.
all right. Well, we only have a few things left on the list, so I'm going to touch on one that I don't think would be talked about much if someone doesn't talk about it now, and that is the Shades of Green Military Resort and the military tickets.
Hmm.
That is a huge thing for Disney to do because most times you get the military discount when you're going somewhere because you're a veteran, but Disney actually gives you a special place to stay that is specifically meant for military guests and their families. And I just think that is super kind and considerate of them that they would honor these military guests by giving them a specific place that's made for them and it's not available to the other members and guests of the park. I just think that is so cool. And I actually remember we toured one of the rooms at Shades of Green once when we were touring a bunch of other resorts like Saratoga Springs and whatnot. And I just thought it was very nice and peaceful. It's a golfing resort, isn't it?
It is. It used to actually be a golf resort before it became Shades of Green. We stayed there
Yeah.
in 1981, I think. And it was a golfing resort. Yeah.
And I think it's actually run by the Department of Defense.
That's right.
So
So their
it's
rules are different
considered,
than the
their
other
rules are
military
different,
discounts.
and it's
Yeah.
considered an outside property for Disney.
Right. You
So
can't, yeah. Disney
That's
doesn't
true.
book that. They just have it on the property.
right.
Yeah.
But it
But
is great that they offer that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and on a side note, the perhaps even better from my perspective is the military ticket promotions that they have, because you know Shane and Steph are going in August, and they're using military tickets because he's in the service, and so
Yeah.
that promotion is phenomenal as far as the savings you get
It is. The
over
salute to
your
the
ticket.
military tickets are great.
Yeah.
But
So
even, Disney, even on the Disney property, on the Disney resorts, has military discounts. It's not the same rules that's followed by Shades of Green,
correct.
because Shades of Green, you can just be a veteran and stay there. You have to be active or retired military with an ID to get the military discount on the regular rooms, but it's a great discount
Yeah.
that Disney offers.
Yeah. Yeah. So that you're right, Sophie, though. That's a good benefit that they offer
For
Yeah.
sure.
for the veterans to be able to take advantage of that.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about this attraction at Hollywood Studios because I want to leave that last one for Miss Brenda.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
I was
Oh.
wondering if you were gonna leave the best for last.
and I am talking about a salute to all things but
America.
mostly American or something like that. I'm
A
sure I
salute to all nations, but mostly America.
thank you, Sophie, for correcting me. And we all know that is Muppet Vision 3D.
Yep. With
I love it.
Sam Eagle.
With
The
Sam Eagle.
3-hour fireworks spectacular that he has a minute and a half for.
Yep. I know it is corny beyond corny. It hasn't changed in 40 years.
Good.
God.
Never change.
And it is so but it's on it, you know? It's just something every now and again. I don't have to see it every single trip to Hollywood Studios, but
No.
every now and again it just tickles your fancy.
Yep.
So here's to Muppet Vision 3D. May it live forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're going to hit the big topic then.
You're going to
Yes, you
finish us
are.
off, Brenda.
And you're gonna do great.
Because last year this was not a thing.
No, it wasn't.
Even today, well, actually, today when this airs, it will be a thing, but it's not a thing today while we're typing.
Yeah.
And that is the magnificently elaborate July 3rd and 4th fireworks shows that they do at Epcot and at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful
Absolutely
tribute.
Stunning.
Makes you feel great to be an American.
Yep.
Yeah. As it should.
I agree.
You know what? Before that kiddo was even growing, I took Cindy for her first trip to Disney was to the Magic Kingdom at Epcot, July 3rd and 4th of the year 2000. It was the month before we got married.
Oh
We
my
were visiting my
goodness.
grandparents. My parents were down. Cindy and I went over to the parks for 2 days. And I'm telling you that Disney Magic was on full overload because normally the third and the fourth is normally like insanity. And it wasn't. It was
Wow.
not bad at all as far as
Wow.
crowds went.
Oh, that's a miracle.
And for Cindy's first trip, I'm like, that was like awesome. The only bad thing she had was a fiance who was terrified of fireworks, absolutely
Oh
terrified,
no!
and
I hope you
and
pretended
gave
not to
in
be.
gave in to his fear, and so she didn't see the fireworks as well as she should have.
Daddy.
But we've made that up since then. So
Oh yeah, we made it up. It took
And
about
she was in love
let
with
me
you
see.
anyway.
mhm.
Let me see. And then they had a daughter, and she was exactly the same as her father
And
up
then
until
one
she
day,
turned about 13, and they visited the state fair. And then, right as they were leaving, a firework went off over her head,
Oh,
directly over it, and she didn't even flinch.
oh
well,
my
not
goodness.
only that, but before then, mommy had the brilliant idea, and she took us over to Walmart and we got earplugs. And I had never thought of putting earplugs in my ear to
Yeah.
prevent the sound of the fireworks from scaring me. But, I'm not the sharpest axe in the shed or tool in the shed or whatever it is. So there you
Well,
go.
then again, it hardly worked for me because I couldn't quite get them the way I wanted, and it kept on bugging me, and they ended up getting full of my icky, gross kid
Okay.
earwax
On from there. We don't
that
need
I
to talk
also
about
get from my
everything, honey.
dad.
So
Oh my
anyway,
goodness.
I have
the
your ears, Daddy. I
yeah,
have your ears.
okay. Moving on. Can we move on?
I used to take the earplugs for the girls because I didn't know how they'd react to it when they were little. So I got them little bitty earplugs because I mean, you don't know when
Yeah.
they haven't been to a fireworks show like that ever, how
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah.
do. So it's
And
Yeah.
we
it's
were
worth having
when
with you just in case.
yeah, and when we were there for the 40th, and I mean there were 8 million people in
Yeah,
towns in
we were
the
with you.
spoke.
Susie and
Yeah.
I were with
Yeah, there were 8 million people there, and
you.
that poor girl was horrified of the fireworks, and her dad was trying to get to like over to one of the shops just to get her out of there. But there were so many people he couldn't move,
No, it was
Oh.
busy.
and she was terrified, and bless her heart.
Dang.
But that's something, hopefully she's gotten over that now.
I hope
So,
so too.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully.
anyway,
We're thinking of you, girl, if you're listening.
yeah.
Yep. I don't
Um,
think she is, but oh well.
Never know.
you never know. But
Yeah.
anyway, so the July 3rd and 4th, and of course this year there's still not going to be the 4th of July, the Independence Day fireworks. It's going to be um, Epcot Forever at Epcot and Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom.
We'll
So
see.
unless they
Yeah.
change it and surprise us, who knows?
Well, this show is going to air after
Yeah.
4th of
Yeah,
July,
you're
so
right.
we need to know
But as you
if
can
they
tell,
surprise
we are
people.
recording before. But anyway,
We
yeah,
always record a couple days early because,
yeah,
just in case there's an earthquake or something.
yep. Anyway, so that wraps up our feature topic. I hope you all have had as much fun talking about it as we have, although I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
So
All
that
right.
takes us to this day in Disney history for July 5th.
All
Sophie,
right.
take it away, girl.
And you know what? Right before I s- right before I went and looked at this piece of Disney history, I actually had to go back to last year and make sure that I hadn't like said this before because it seems like I have just because of how iconic it is, but I don't think I've talked about this before, and this happens in 1930.
Hmm.
Oh,
July 5th, 1930, the Fox Midland theater chain officially launches the Mickey Mouse Club, a weekly
yay.
event for all boys and girls. The club will meet on Saturday mornings all across the US of A.
Yay.
Nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Very
right.
cool.
Well,
That's
it's
all I've
time.
got for today.
That's good. That's a good one. That's worth all
Yep.
you got. So,
Oh, he's
time
getting ready to stump you,
put
Soph.
on our glasses.
Let's see if he can do it.
Mhm.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
You know what? I've got a character, and it might surprise you who it is. You might think it's someone else first.
Hmm.
So just remember that. That's like a hint without being a hint. Okay.
All right.
Let's see here. Okay. And
He didn't have the clues ready.
I underlined them because I had them, but I wanted to underline them to make sure. All right. So this character is street smart.
All right. Go on.
Fearless and devoted.
Okay.
Do you think you know who it is?
I think I have 2 ideas.
Okay. Do you want to try?
The
You
tramp.
owe her one more clue.
I know.
The
It is
tramp.
not the tramp.
No?
Brenda, do you have an idea?
Aladdin was the one that I.
Oh, that's a good one, but it's not Aladdin.
Hmm.
This character is voiced by Billy Joel.
Dodger.
Yep, Dodger.
Very good. Very good.
I had to look up his name, so I will admit that. But I knew that he was voiced by Billy Joel, because I've heard him sing in his movie Oliver and Company, and I recognized it as Billy Joel.
Very good.
I just think it's so cool that Billy Joel is in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He had
Yes,
to be a big shot. Yep.
today's character is Dodger. He had to be a big shot. Today's character is Dodger from Oliver and Company.
Yep.
Very good, Sophie.
Yay! He was actually he was one of my first 2 thoughts. It was the tramp and it was the dog from Oliver and Company. But I had to Google his name so I would know what to say.
When you Googled, did that give away the clues?
No.
Okay.
Granted, it did say Billy Joel next to his name, but
well, then that did give it away.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it until after you gave me the clue, if that helps any.
Okay. That's fine. It doesn't matter anyway. It's all in fun anyway.
Yeah. Let's
But
just
you know
hope
what?
that the listeners
I
don't think I
think-
cheated.
I think Carousel of Progress guy, Dad is like, I don't think she should get credit, Mike.
Oh.
Well, anyway, we're giving you full credit.
Aw, thank you.
So, Brenda,
Yay.
it's
Oh.
time for a little bit of Walt.
Oh, can't have enough Walt. All right, I tried to pick a quote from Walt that had to do with today's Red, White, and Disney. I found one,
Good.
and here it is. Actually, if you could see close in my eyes, the American flag is waving in both of them, and up my spine is glowing this red, white, and blue stripe.
You got it.
Wow.
Let me
Yep.
see.
I love that one.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Gotta love the man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that wraps us up, people. That concludes our look at patriotism at Disney. Actually, not patriotism at Disney, at Red, White, and Disney. Sorry, I was looking at patriotism at Disney for a moment. And that concludes this week's episode. Next week, we are going to talk about our favorite Disney pre-shows. So these are the shows that run before the attraction or show comes on. You know? And you know what? If you give it a little bit of thought, there's actually a lot more than you might think there are. You know? So that's our feature topic next week, is our favorite Disney pre-shows. So give it some thought, and let's hear what everyone has to say about it. But I'm Mike, and she's Sophie, and that's Brenda and Grogu, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
And we will
See
you on the road.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.